Are you wearing a mask in your marriage? I mean, like you're hiding something you don't want your spouse to know. Maybe your spouse is wearing a mask, because the truth is we all wear masks. We don't even know it sometimes, but we wear these masks trying to hide stuff in our lives, and we get married hoping that the love and the connection and all the fuzzies that come with it will somehow make the stuff that's going on the inside go away. It's what we call shame. And I want to talk a little bit in this video about why it is that we wear masks. Why do we hide? Why do we go through our marriages, our relationships, without fully, completely, 100% all in connect? Why is that? Because you can feel it. You can feel it in your relationship, like, we love each other, but something's just not there. And let me just say this, the mask that we wear is not because we're bad, it's not because we're evil, it's not because we've done something evil. Yeah, everybody has something in our story we wish we hadn't done. Maybe it was wrong, maybe it was immoral. Yeah, that's not uncommon, but usually the hiding is because of shame. And I want to talk to you about these reasons, these three primary reasons, I believe, why in our marriages, this shame, this hiding, this masking is really hurting us. And I want to talk a little bit about how you can break through some of that. Because it's good people, wonderful people, amazing people, well-meaning people who got married, loving, longing, wanting to be with the person that they have been looking at and enjoying relationship with, and then they get married, this closest, most precious, most prized, most treasured relationship in the human experience. I know some of y'all don't think so, but yeah, it is. And then we hide, like there are things you've never said to your spouse, things you're never gonna say to them, you're never gonna let them know. And whether you know it or not, it's being felt between the two of you. Because when there is hiding, it is hard to hide it. Did I say that too fast? When there's hiding, it's hard to hide it. It's hard to work around it. It's hard for the energy of love and complete commitment and closeness to really flow in the relationship, in the marriage. The Bible has something very powerful to say about this. It says in Genesis chapter 2, right after God finished creating everything and said that it was good, he said, it's not good for the man to be alone, so I'm gonna make a helper suitable for him. So he created Eve. The Bible says he took Eve from the man's rib. He put Adam to sleep. He took out a rib, crafted this beautiful lady, woke him up, and Adam said, whoa, my Lord and my God. Adam said, my goodness, this is now flesh of my flesh and bone of my bone. And then we go all the way through Genesis chapter 2, and they got this beautiful relationship in the garden. And at the end of the second chapter of Genesis, there's a scripture that says that the man and his wife, they were basically together and they were naked. Yeah. And they felt no shame, right? They felt no shame. They could be naked. They could be completely open, completely sane, completely vulnerable. Is it hard for you to be vulnerable? Is this too much for you? Don't listen, stay with me. It's going to get good. It's going to get better. Being vulnerable, because what you really want for your relationship and what makes a marriage thrive and flourish and go high is when you can be completely vulnerable with one another. Sherry and I have been married 34 and a half years. And just a week ago, I told her something about my life I never said a word about to anyone. I never told my mother. I never told my brothers. I never told my aunties. I never told my best friends. I never told anybody. I was like, nope, I'm not talking about that. That is off limits. I'm not talking about it. I don't want to talk about it. But the moment I shared with her that part of my life, that experience, that painful thing, I felt us get closer to one another, just like that. It opened up something in our relationship, 34 and a half years. Let me tell you why we hide. Because it's very normal, it's very natural. It's more natural than being vulnerable, by the way. I can give you the whole long story about that, but let me cut it to the chase here. Here's one of the reasons: because we struggle with imposter syndrome. By imposter syndrome, what I mean is we feel like we're not enough. We feel like we're not good enough. We feel like we're not big enough. Feel like we're not tall enough. Feel like we're not capable enough. Feel like we don't belong. Like, I don't belong in this circle. Like, what am I doing here? Like, who am I to be with you? Who am I to be with this kind of amazing person? Who am I? I must have tricked somebody to get in this room, to get into this relationship. The struggle with imposter syndrome. The struggle with imposter syndrome is the result, oftentimes, of being told, receiving messages along the way that say, you could have been better. You could have done better. You should have been better. You should have got more A's. You should have got more this or done more that. Couldn't you have been more of this or that? So you don't even know what it's doing to you, but it starts making you feel like I'm just not enough. I'm not good enough. By the way, that's the message of shame. You're not good enough. You're not tall enough. You're not strong enough. You're not sexy enough. You're not cute enough. You're not powerful enough. You're not, you name it, enough. And so people carry this syndrome with us where we just feel inadequate and insufficient. By the way, if you've ever been abandoned by anyone, especially the people who were supposed to care for you and raise you, your mom, your dad, if you've ever been abandoned, like they left you, and even if they never showed up and you never met them, but they were never there, it's the same exact experience as if they had abandoned you. And then you're walking through life with this imposter syndrome, feeling like, I'm not good enough to be here, and because people always leave, and I know at some point I'm gonna show my hand and they're gonna leave because they're not gonna want to be with me, because somehow it's my fault that I'm not enough, I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy of their presence and their love. And I want to just challenge you, that is not true. Can I just speak this into your life right now in this video? You are enough. You're more than enough. I was meeting with a client couple recently, wonderful couple, beautiful couple, got two brilliant careers, making great money, doing wonderful things, huge platforms, huge public platforms. If I said either of their names, I could just say the first three letters and you would know exactly who they are. The wife said to me, I never feel like I'm enough. I never feel like I'm doing enough. I never feel like I've accomplished enough. I said, I wonder where that came from. And then she began to tell me her story about how she always felt rejected and she felt outside of the circle, outside of the circles of acceptability as a little girl. And that can make you feel like an imposter when you're balling and you're killing it and you're smart and you're great. And somehow when you show up in your marriage relationship, your spouse can feel like, I don't know why you won't really show up all yourself and why you don't feel worthy of my love. And that can be frustrating, by the way, because after a while, the other person is like, I don't know what else to do to make you believe that I love you unconditionally and that you are enough. Can you say that with me right now in this video? Say it, I am enough. Say it. Yep, you got it, am enough. God says I'm enough. God says I'm precious. God says I'm valuable. Can you embrace that right now? I don't care if you don't know God, if you're not into God. I'm just telling you what God said. He said, you are lovable. He loves you. He cares about you. We hide because of imposter syndrome. We struggle with that imposter syndrome. We hide because we're suppressing guilt from things from our past. Let me try that again. We suppress the guilt from things we did in the past. It's amazing how you may forget all about it, and it's hard to forget it because guilt doesn't let you forget. But you may move on with your life. You may keep going forward. Did something horrible in your past, at least something morally wrong against your better judgments. It was outside of what you knew was good to do, but you feel guilty about it. You wish you had never done it. Have you ever done anything you wish you had never done? Is it just me? And then the guilt dogs us and hounds us. And even if we're not thinking about it consciously, it creates this invisible space between us emotionally, your spouse and you, because you're carrying something that you won't forgive yourself for. That God has moved on. God has forgiven you. You probably took it to him and it's over, but you keep carrying it. Maybe it was, maybe you gave your child up for adoption. Maybe you broke up somebody else's marriage. Maybe you stole something. Maybe whatever it is, that's in the past. Like Timon and Pumbaa said, one of them said, you got to put your past in your behind. I mean, you're behind, you know what I'm saying. Yeah, guilt, carrying the guilt it's a trick to keep you from flourishing and thriving and being guilt-free. Can I tell you, yeah, some of y'all don't know, if you haven't met me, I'm Rod Hairston. I am a relationships expert and marriage coach, but I'm also a pastor. So I have to tell people these things. God loves you and there's forgiveness with him. You can be forgiven, just give it to him. Like, just give it to him and be forgiven. You can move on with your life and never have to carry it again. Then you can tell your partner, hey, you know what? I never told you this before, I did something. If they know how precious and powerful and amazing you are, you'll be able to tell them and they'll grab you and hug you, hold you, and remind you that it's cool. I love you. You're probably not going to be surprised, but it's going to feel great. But sometimes we're carrying things. What are you carrying from your past? The thing you wish nobody ever found out. You wish nobody. Well, you're like I'm not talking to anybody about this ever in my life. Is there guilt that you've been carrying? I want to encourage you. You don't have to carry that guilt, right? Your spouse, I just bet you that your spouse, and if your spouse doesn't love you the way I love Sherry and the way she loves me, my prayer for you is that they will learn to love you like that and you'll learn to love them like that, so y'all can just put the guilt party to rest, like get rid of the guilt party, right? Because it's doing a number on us. Even while we're talking about this right now in the video, it's challenging. But I'm telling you, we hide because there are things in our past that we feel guilty about, and it makes it difficult for us to be completely vulnerable, to get rid of that shame. No, listen, let he who is without sin cast the first stone. Period. 100%. Like, there's nobody who's not guilty of something, like including yours truly. I promise you. Ain't got time. I can't give you the whole rap sheet, but take my word for it. All right. Yeah. Move on from that. All right. Let me give you the last one. We suppress the stuff that happened to us. Something happened to us in the past. And sometimes it wasn't like earth-shattering for somebody else, but for you it was earth-shattering. But if somebody abused you, if somebody mishandled you, if somebody treated you in a certain way, something that happened in the past to you, it wasn't your fault. It's so often the case with abuse, right? It wasn't the person's fault who was being abused. It was the fault of the abuser, but then the one who was abused is carrying all the shame and all the weight of it. And for you, I want you to know you are more than what happened to you. You're better than what happened to you. And I know how you can carry it in your body and in your being and feel like this thing is a part of you, but I'm telling you, you are so much more than the thing that happened to you. And so I want to encourage you, you don't have to carry it. You don't have to take it to your grave. In fact, your spouse needs to know, and my hope is that you can have a moment where you can unveil some of this that happened to you, just like I did with my wife a few days ago. One of the best things I ever did. Made me feel that much safer in our marriage, made me feel that much more known and seen, to just say, hey, this was the deal. And I can't even believe, I can't believe 34 and a half years. So we wear these masks that we don't even realize we're wearing. Like, most of the masks we wear are not intentional. They're not our desires. But we usually choose a spouse, so we fall in love with somebody who we just believe that if I marry this person, all of my stuff I can just move on from it. I can fix my life. It's what we call healing dreams. Like, if I marry you, I'll be able to close that chapter in the book of my life, in the story of my life. And I'm just saying to you, getting married won't fix it. If you want to be connected, if you want to be intimate, if you want to be close, if you want to experience real passion and connection without weird interruptions and the sense that there's something funky, we love each other, but it's just not quite there. If you want to fix that, have the hard conversation. Go out for dinner and talk about the thing that happened in the past, or the thing that you may have been guilty of, or the voice of inadequacy and shame that you've been hearing all your life. And just the moment you can mention it and say it, like, I'm aware now, The moment you can do that, you disempower it. And then just ask your spouse, hey, will you still love me, please? Or just remind your spouse, I'm gonna still love you. We started an entire coaching practice called Love Again Couples Coaching. I've been coaching high flying, high performing couples in sports and business for many years now. And we called it Love Again because we want to teach people how to love at the next level. And sometimes love again when there's been a mistake or a mess up. And if you're not familiar with all our work, hey, make sure you like and subscribe. We're going to be sharing more on YouTube. But I want to invite you to something that will help you build the intimacy, bridge the gap, create the connection, and it's called the Intimacy Reset Challenge. The Intimacy Reset Challenge. And this challenge is a 1 hour a day, 5 days or 5 nights, where we're going to give you the skills. I'm going to give you the skills for how to literally get that passion back, how to literally experience the vulnerability and the openness to literally be able to embrace one another in a more intimate, connected way, physically, sexually, emotionally, in all those ways, so that you can have the marriage you were designed to have. So you can get that information in the description box. But make sure you like and subscribe. I look forward to seeing you in the very next